Congratulations, it's a bargain. Ollie's is opening the doors Wednesday, October 16th at 9 a.m. in Homewood. Find us up 183rd Street next to Jewel Osco in the old Big Lots. You've
Bring the all-new Hydro Flash travel bottle. Never leaks, always fits. We make it, you own it.
Introducing Dr. Clyde Winters and on their name, put some respect. Yeah. I think it's time for reality check. Yeah, reality check. Gotta get you back on cold. Reality check for the young and the old. Reality check. Yeah, the heal your soul. Reality check. Get ready for the show.
Oh no, where'd you go? What's up, everybody? Welcome to Reality Check. I'm Eve. I seem to not be having any internet issues today, so if you've been live with me already this week and you experienced those technical difficulties, well, I guess Dr. Winters is bringing the Mojara that keeps the internet doing what it's supposed to do. Welcome back.
Yeah, hey, what's up? What's up?
What's going on?
Nothing, just had to take care of old man business, that's all.
I can dig it. I thought you were gonna play my children, the minis' favorite song right now, outside of FBA Roots and FBB Liberation, is I'm Blunt. And I love it.
Oh, really? Let me see if I can find it.
They are very antisocial, social, like their mama, and I guess like their baba in some forms and fashions. But it's so funny that they've gravitated to that song. And one of them asked me, "What is blunt?" They're singing all the words and they're like, "What's blunt?" And I'm like, yeah, we probably should talk about the meanings of things because y'all out here just singing. And I love it, but I would love for you to know what you were talking about.
But the thing is that it's very... Yeah, like I said, is that I need a director. I need a director, somebody who could help me to get things done.
No, that's okay. Take your time. Looks like notifications might be going through now, for people who want to tune in and get a reality check in the middle of the week. But tonight, well, really, I was watching Kamala. She had an interview with Luther Campbell. You know what I'm talking about, Luther?
Yeah, pop that coochie. Hey, pop that coochie, baby, pop. That's what I remember.
That guy. It's so strange, these interviews she's taken. But you got a new song from Yoshi? Is that a new song?
Oh, Yoshi got a lot of stuff and stuff. It's this is a new one. This is one of his. I think I've shown it before.
You bright inside, to my inside, to see through your eyes. Anyone fooled me twice, second time wasn't so easy. So many before have tried to deceive me, got close to me, but they so-called breeze. So don't tell me what trust is, you know what dust is. Hands come take care, face that when here, hand me down, kill, fire with fire, spirit with spirit. Eagle versus Falcon, whatever the name. Yoshi, my kid is 99 with. I'ma shake it, him, rich been with him. African syndrome, money coming with him. Some fall victim, gain more income. Ain't no issue, I'm spiritual. Addicted with energy, something lyrical. Been known for centuries, blacks in a pain. No, global peace, Yoshi.
Meditate, channeling all day. Like I did channeling all day. Yoshi and channeling dumb shit. But it feel numb.
I ride at night, red light, green light, I slide, pass I in flight to breathe your mind. New life, unite, you right inside, I mind, to my inside, to see through your eyes. In your friends, just don't sit right. Told to take it easy, but I'm up every night. Every visitors, I'm cool. Most nights, low frequency, raise ball, take flight, light up the night sky. Low beam, burn ice, cold wind chill. My life, I fly, dark but no, I be all no. Seeing you glow, my eyes, be lonely. Looking for cheap rides with me. Take a trip to the real outside. Swing and bang is no option. With no caution, swing us at night. They live is now known. Sitting high sky. It used to be known. Sometimes getting dry. Futures are wrong. Lips open up sky. Constitution on the blind.
Meditate, channeling all day. Like I did channeling all day. Yoshi and channeling dumb shit. But it feel numb.
I ride at night, red light, green light, I slide, pass I in flight to breathe your mind. New life, unite, you right inside, I mind, to my inside, to see through your eyes.
That's I love Yoshi stuff because what he does is real cool. He's very creative, and I used to want to be an artist, and I did. I used to really want to be an artist, but my baby doll, she said, "Man, shit, you got to take care of my pretty ass." Yes, she said, "You got to take care of my pretty ass." I said, "Just because I said you're pretty, you're beautiful to me, but that doesn't mean any damn thing. I'm an artist." She said, "No, you're not an artist. You're not an artist."
I think you are an artist. I mean, maybe you didn't get to do it the way you wanted to do it, but telling our story in a way that is understandable, teaching, that's an art. Talking to people, that's another form of art. I mean, I think one of my most exciting experiences of public schooling was finding out about forensics. Forensics is debate. I didn't know that there was forensics, like where you could go and talk. Essentially, it's like a talking competition, right? Where you're debating or persuading or, doing a prose or poem or I don't know, different rounds of talking essentially. And are you able to move the audience crowd? Can you get them to believe what you want them to believe? Can you articulate it in a good way? And forensics, I had never heard of such a thing. My school didn't have forensics. I mean, we had a lot of stuff, but we didn't have forensics. I think we had debate. We had debate club, maybe. It's a long time ago.
Forensics is very popular now. Everything's forensic. In other words, you want to look at the meaning. You want to look at the deepness, and that's something that's very important because see, when you think about the number one killer in America, a lot of times people think about Chicago, because they popularized the idea that Chicago is the murder capital, and we know that that's not true. Right. But the point is that it sounds good, but the number one killer is really a broken heart. so many of us, so many of us have
That
broken
was
hearts.
that was my answer too when I sent it to you. I wondered if you were gonna go scientific, with like the data. But for what it's worth, the data, it aligns. Heart disease,
Yeah.
broken heart. I think that we've got a match. And then layers. It's an onion. It's a lot of layers for how you get a diseased heart. But
It's a broken heart, because my wife's doctor, one of her doctors years ago said that it was an because back then when they said that she had heart trouble, they only said she would live 3 years, but now she ended up going 7. But the point is this: I don't really believe that people can predict when you're going to die, but I do believe in a sense that sometimes we have so much heartbreak, and we have heartbreak, all the time. We have heartbreak in terms of our relationships. We have heartbreak with our family members, we have heartbreak in terms of the goals, because see, we set ourselves up for heartbreak,
absolutely.
and,
Go ahead.
yeah. So, we set ourselves up for heartbreak. I was thinking the other day and I said, damn, I said that my kids are very happy, I guess, and but I said the thing is this is that they had their dreams, but I had my dreams for them too, and see that, and that's a problem, just like you have dreams for your children, and even though in the sense is that like back in the day when they were little, this one was going to be a lawyer, and this was going to be a financial lawyer. This was going to be a veterinarian and stuff, and this was going to be a doctor,
Right.
and so then this is the goals that they established for themselves. But then, in a sense, then it ended up no. My boys, they went to college, but then they decided, hey, I want to get cars and stuff like that, and and I want to see if I can screw the whole world and stuff, and so after a while, no college, Then my daughter, she went to college, she finished, See, that's the thing about girls. Most of the time, then my wife, she said, well, see, you should have gave me more girls. I said, no, I didn't want to give you girls. I'm sorry. I said, I'm sorry. I gave you one. Because back in the day, until I met Tariq's wife, I used to think that I was able to choose the babies I made and stuff. And that, yes, I believe I knew
But it kind of works for what it's worth. You wanted boys, you got boys. When you wanted your girl, you got your girl. The math.
I was scientific, I felt I knew what to do. Then when I had met Tariq when we were doing when he was doing one thing, I talked to his wife and stuff, and then when I talked to his wife, she didn't validate what I thought you have to do as a man to make boys.
Funny.
So she didn't validate it, so I said, hell. I said, damn. Well, maybe I'm wrong.
No, you're just powerful. Some people can do it. I think that. Well, first things first. I think that if you get pregnant as a woman, it's because you wanted to get pregnant. Whether it's body talking or you and your body, y'all are in cahoots, but you wanted it. And then from there, how to be a boy or a girl, that I guess it would have to be the sperm. Wait, did I talk to you about twins? I know this is kind of a segue off.
You and had twins. I always wanted twins. I could never have twins. I wasn't that good a man. Hey, partner out there, you're a guy. You're a real man. You're a real man. I thought that's what makes you a man. You can have twins.
I have and I guess it's a stupid thought because you're a scientist and I'm not a scientist. So if you haven't had this thought, maybe I'm just slow. But a twin happens when the sperm makes an egg split. That's one way, right?
Yeah.
And then the other way is that one sperm or whatever and fertilizes more than one egg. So it's not that the egg split,
Right.
but there is, because I have boy-girl twins. So if I don't women, and y'all are gonna have to excuse my ignorance in biology, but don't women only drop one egg every time it's time, unless you drop two or unless you drop three. But
You can drop more than one egg because see, but remember in a sense the male sperms in a sense are very slow. Male sperms are very slow, and they are very slow. That's why most women who have boys, they usually in a sense they will the man may allow them to have their orgasm, and then she will just lay there, and then you can make the boys, because then that helps the sperms. It helps the boy sperms to get there faster to the eggs, because if not, the girl sperms are going to get there, because the girls the female sperms, they kick ass.
oh wait, so does that mean that it was two sperms that fertilized two eggs? Since I have boy girl,
remember, it's usually about 500 in every ejaculation, about 500 of them, and they're rushing. Then the brother pull a sister back, to the sister pull her. I'm getting there, and then there's that one egg said, "Whoever get here, you're the one. You're the good guy. Come on now." You're trying to fight to get there. Then you lose. It's a race.
Oh, world's slowest race, right? Which one
Yeah.
gets there? Turtle over here. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. That has nothing to do with what we're talking about. And I think everything. Unrealized gains. You know what that is, right? When you make money off of something that you haven't quite made money off of, right?
I don't know. I don't know about that.
Hold on.
I don't know.
Let's look it up real quick. Unrealized gains, also known as paper gains, refer to the increase in value of an asset that has not yet been sold. And I think I was listening to Kamala. She was talking about these unrealized gains, or I was listening to the other side talk about Kamala talking about, essentially she wants to tax people on things that we haven't quite gotten. Like if my house is worth $500,000, I don't have that $500,000, but my house is worth $500,000, so I get taxed based off of, because that's insane. But it rolls over into our conversation tonight about the number one killer in America being heartbreak, because it is the unrealized gains that continue to happen, and then people don't get what they want out of life. And then it's like, well, if I can't have it, then kind of done. So then people die, even though they're still out here. There's a lot of zombies out here right now. And those people don't people the same way other people do. They've lost it. Not that they can't get it back, because they are alive. But I know y'all, I'm in metaphysical plebiscite island land tonight, but it's I think it's layered.
I think it's
the heart is complicated.
I think yes, it is complicated, because I believe you get everything you want out of life. I believe that yes, a lot of people say, well, how can you get everything you want out of life when some people are living in poverty? How can you feel you get everything out of life when you wanted a big house, a big car, and you don't have a home, you don't have a big house, you may be homeless or whatever. But I do think in a sense is that you get out of life what you want. But I think that the thing that makes it very difficult for us is that we're trying to find things that are beyond our control, and the thing that's mainly beyond our control is our interactions with our loved ones. That's why the number one killer is love. The number one killer is love. Even though they say love makes you happy, number one killer is love. Because see,
you can die happy, right? Everybody wants to die happy, or not, because maybe you're so happy that you don't want to die. you're not ready. It's too much happy going on. Like, it's, don't take me away from the happy.
And not only that, but you're afraid of it, because I know that everybody to really get to paradise. I mean, everybody wants to maybe get to paradise, but to get there you got to die. But God is placing us a fear of death, and He placed in us a fear of death so that we would in a sense, survive the trials and tribulations of life. You see.
Yeah, I don't know if I agree with that,
Go
because
ahead.
Heaven is where you are. Like, how can we be so big and so small to think that we have any control over what happens next? Who knows what happens next? I mean, we might know because of our connection with Amma or ancestral or spirits or whatever, but I think it's our now that I guess would allow your next. And then slavery, the way that they had these Bibles blacked out, and I could just be ignorant, right? Because I'm just Eve. I don't know as much as I know what I know, right? This is something that I feel based off of what I've read. And I think that the slave owners, invaders, they wanted us to work really hard now because heaven is a place for you later. And it's just how hard you work now. And you gonna get it later if you be a good little slave now. And then, I'm sorry, Kamala said, and we love hard work. And I kind of glitched. It sounded like slavery. And then heaven is later. And I can't do that. I gotta fully disagree here.
It's very complicated. And what I mean by that is that when we look at slavery, when we look at slavery, then you say, damn, that lasted 300, 400 years. Okay, Brown. Okay. Then they teach you as 3 rebellions. Denmark Vesey, Nat Turner, and then there's one more. Vesey, Turner, and there's one more. When it was really
Gabriel Prosser.
Yeah, Prosser. Yeah, Gabriel Prosser. When it was really 250 rebellions.
Right.
250. But the thing is, this is that when we think about slavery, we think about slavery as a position in which we were very powerless, and yet at the same time, I don't see it that way. I think that in many cases we had power.
We didn't have you. I wholeheartedly agree with you there.
Yeah.
Because if we are the skilled hands, the laborers, the people who have the know-how, then essentially y'all can't exist without us. And from showing you how to plant food so that you weren't eating each other or digging up your dead and causing diseases, because that's nasty. Without us, a lot of this shit wouldn't happen. We are dealing with a self-inflicted wound right now, to me, in my humble opinion, of people that didn't have to work for the things that they have in any form or capacity, not when we were being nice, not when we were forced to, and not now when we're in this age of there's no racism, we're supposed to be moving forward. America's for everybody, we're melting pot, land of immigrants, and y'all were forced immigration. Just like these people who are forced out of their homes because America is bombing them. Like, what? No. What? No. I'm trying not to cuss tonight. It might come out in repetitious, simple words, but I would agree. If we have all the skills, then if we stopped, then you don't go past go. And then maybe it is our long memory that knows that we're going to be here. It doesn't matter. Like, okay, it's a blip in time. We've been here for 24 hours. This is 2 minutes in 24 hours. Like, it's okay. And that ancestral memory, it's damning, because like, wait a minute, what about the now? Like, but no, if we work for it, if we work hard now, we're gonna get it later, or we're always going to be here, so don't worry about the now. All of it just seems like ways to get us to accept the status quo of you're not going to get what's owed to you, and by the time you figure it out, it's not going to be anything left to give you. And you're going to accept that because y'all love us anyway. You love us when we were killing you. You love us when we stopped killing. Y'all love us.
And see, that's the beauty. That's the beauty of delusion. That's the beauty of delusion and mental illness. You see, because you have to understand, in a sense, is that we look at this when we look at slavery. We always look at slavery from what we believe was the perspective of the white man, you know. But see, the white man, he had no perspective in relationship to slavery, because see, slavery was not the same on every plantation. Now, it was the same in the sense is that on mostly all the plantations, you had to find a way, because you had to understand is that for the European to really dominate us, he had to spend most of his time not whipping my ass. He didn't have to worry about whipping my ass.
Right.
He had to spend most of the time whooping Sapphire's ass. See, because Sapphire, let me explain to you. Because see, Sapphire, you cannot push. Sapphire is like a firecracker. A sister's like a firecracker. And see, we're the most different people. We're foundational Black Americans are the most unique people on the planet Earth, because we became slaves as a result of prisoners of war. We were always, in a sense, the Black Irish, they were sent over here as prisoners of war. Those Africans who was kidnapped, they were sent as prisoners of war. Those Aboriginal Blacks. Go ahead.
Let me ask you this, because people get stuck on stupid here. They talk about the indentured servants, the Irish, and they're not talking about the Black Irish, correct? No. They're talking about the white Irish.
Right.
This is messy history, because you Black American is never gonna consider yourself a Black Irishman in any form or fashion, even if you weren't, but there's more of you out here than not, because of what he just said, you know, the transatlantic slave trade that absolutely sent Black Europeans into chattel slavery the same way that continental Africans were sent, and Aboriginal.
But you got to remember, I think it was 1804, 1808. 1804, 1808, the Constitution outlawed the Atlantic slave trade.
Right.
Since it outlawed the Atlantic slave trade, what happened in a sense is that, so then therefore, the slaves had to be, the people who were enslaved had to be indigenous, you see.
For sure. But you see how quick it ended? So for, since they say 1526, when the Spaniards 20 and some odd the Spanish and 20 some odd continental Africans, that's the timeline they want to use. So 1526 to 1808. And then 1808 to 1865, they couldn't handle it.
But there's your problem. There's your problem right there.
If you got to use us, and we're not getting all this moving around and stuff.
But see, there's your problem. Is remember, continental Africans were not made chattel slaves. The original continental Africans, they came here as indentured servants in 1619.
What?
Remember?
So the 1619. All right. I have to.
Okay, see, 1619. That was when that's when they're supposed to have got these Africans. Remember, they had found a ship, and then some pirates brought the slaves to Jamestown.
Right.
And then these 20 Africans became indentured servants.
Okay, right.
Okay.
But then it was Dred Scott got.
But there was already chattel slavery. But the chattel slaves were the Black Indians who had been captured in war, and they were the ones on the rice and indigo and the
rice
plantations.
Oh, sugar. I mean, and I'm not talking about plantation. Remember, I'm trying not to cuss tonight. That's insane. The schools, the schools where they had the little Native American children learning about white Jesus and stuff, and that's way after, right? Or that's
way after. Because see, you got to remember in a sense is that they'd already most of the black Indians. Most of the black Indians, they always had a policy. The standard foundational Black American policy is you know, to get along. We try to get along. In other words, in a sense, because see, it's because see, remember.
I'm there. Yeah. Go ahead.
See, we're the only people that went through a process of mental genocide.
And paper genocide and actual genocide.
Yeah,
like
later paper.
all the genocides.
Kind of, but they never could do all the genocide because the point is this is that they could never do all the genocide because it was sisters like your ass. It was you sisters who fucked everything up.
I mean, we are still here.
That's right. And see, okay, just like if I made you mad on the plantation, you know what you're gonna do? You're gonna put some glass in my damn food. You know what you're gonna do? You're gonna burn my damn house down. I gotta watch your ass. I ain't worried about that brother, because that brother's gonna do what the hell he told to do because he want to protect his woman, but his woman gonna say fuck you.
That's crazy. And
it is crazy.
That's crazy because wow.
Why do you look at it? Do a Google search.
No, I mean, that makes way more sense than anything else. And then Black women, they try and scare you away from you when you are the key. And I know that's insane coming from me.
It is insane.
Standards,
but do it. Do a Google search.
All right, let's do it.
Do a Google search. It's gonna come up with some slavery, and it's gonna be a Black woman getting her ass whooped. Never a Black man. Never a Black man. Think about it. It's going to be a Black woman getting her ass beat.
Yep. I could share my screen too, just so that the audience.
Okay, you can go ahead. You can go ahead and share it.
Where did you go? Oh, there you are.
Let's go to present.
Yeah, I got it up there. But no, you're right. Essentially, we got this one. We got this.
It's a reason. It's a reason.
And look, that's I was gonna say that's a daggone baby. That's a daggone baby right here.
Yeah.
And that's definitely a woman. Women. I mean, that's a man, but all right. Another.
See,
that's a little girl or boy, degendered. That happened, so who knows if that's a boy or a girl? But
you wore whatever you could wear. I mean, back in the day, they used to like to put it, but that's a woman chained and a girl and stuff. There you go. You see a Black Indian with a straight hair, and then you see
right. That's
Black Indian ancestor. Yes. See, you gotta understand is that a lot of times we feel, because see, remember, what makes you go to war? What makes you go to war is your woman makes you go to war.
Right.
It's the women who get the men stirred up to go fight and to go die. Sure. Even though they don't want to see their boys die, they send you to go fight.
Oh,
so
shit.
Therefore, yes. That's when you can't cuss anyway. Don't worry. When you cuss, we don't take your cussing serious. I'm sorry.
But that's the thing. Even though I'm trying not to.
You're just Eve.
I'm just me. My teacher had us off. I know that I don't curse at school, so I put all of it into school time. So just know that your babies are getting me at.
I taught 5th to 8th grade. Sometimes I would curse.
Well, that's because that actually makes you more of a cool teacher and relatable. And did you see Kamala drinking a beer on somebody, John?
Yeah, but see, you can't take her serious because then she started cackling. See, she's too much of a hoe. She's too much of a hoe.
The number one killer in America might be women.
Yeah.
That kind of goes into heartbreak, heart disease. Yeah. We are the cooks. We are the instigators, or the driving
heartbreakers.
The heartbreakers.
Yeah. You know,
Yikes. Okay, women, we need to we need to do something
no,
because
you don't. You don't need to do anything. You need to just be you. And see, that's the whole point.
that's
We
what I'm
just have,
saying. That's a whole task now.
but see,
Everything is telling you not to be you because something's
everything,
wrong with you.
of course, they don't want you to be you because see, if you're you, you're going to have natural children that are going to be confident. See, if you're you, you're going to be confident in your being. You're going to be confident in who you are. You see,
True.
and so then see everything's to knock you off your square, and the way to knock you off your square is to make you feel, incompetent, to lose your self-esteem. You see, that's one of the reasons why a lot of times, in a sense, I remember back in the day, brothers always talk about they don't like long hair. But then when the sister put on the wig, ooh, she's so sexy and pretty. You're fakers. You're all liars. Brothers, you're liars. And so then, but the thing is that it is.
You're right. I mean, you can see it like this has been a debate of sorts because the natural women, they say, you look on Instagram and you see all these likes and all these thirst comments and stuff. And it's on the women that the brothers say that they don't or aren't attracted to. And sure. I'm trying to figure out why people are trying to get their data off the internet. Y'all need to go out into the world and reach out and touch somebody, but only if they want to be touched, and then really don't because germs and, just go out and talk to people like an actual conversation.
This is the rule. Light-skinned people like dark-skinned people. Dark-skinned people like light-skinned people. What's the rule. It's always been like that. Opposites attract. It's always been like that,
That's a problem because that leads you into dark skin, light skin. Now you've got colorism. Now you got caste system. Now you got people stuck on stupid moments.
But it's always been colorism. When I grew up, I never saw a dark-skinned woman whose husband bought her a damn house. It was the light-skinned woman because they felt that they should get it. But it was just the way it was. I mean, just like that was the way it was.
I've never asked your baby doll, is she dark skin or light skin? And then, am I dark skin or light skin?
Well, the thing is, this is that she was calm. She wasn't super light, and she was just average, plain. She's a little lighter than me, My grandma used
my complexion.
She may have been your complexion. But my grandma, in a sense, she felt that my grandma said, can't you find somebody a little lighter? I love Diane, but see, the Winters was all super light skinned, but my father married my mother who was dark, that Choctaw shit or whatever. I don't know. So we always had that side of us, you see. But see, now I understand it better because see, a lot of that I thought back in the day, I thought a lot of that light skinness came from being, white men raping our grandmamas and grand aunties and all that. That's right. What I thought. But see, as I started, now that I've done the research, now I see that it was always been some light-skinned people, even some light-skinned people from Africa, Fulani, a lot of people, Fulani, Mandi, things like that. And then, but see, this whole idea that we all came from Africa, that was the lie. But they had to teach us we all came from Africa because, see, look at this. Like I tell anybody, if I go back far enough in my ancestry, I can find all these different people, you see. And some of my ancestors came directly from Ireland, And so then we know in a sense that by the 1800s, the Caucasians had replaced most of the Black Irish. And so those were the Irish that came over as indentured servants. But see, by that time, through the 30-year war and the 100-year war, the 30-year war and the 100-year war, the black elites, the black worldies, the black elites in Europe, they were constantly fighting each other. And as they continually fought each other, they began, in a sense, to recruit Caucasian mercenaries. And so then over time, as they recruited these Caucasian mercenaries, they gave them land. And so then as they gave them land, then they began to adopt they began to adopt the name of the various estates. And so that's how in a sense we arrived as see. People often say, Clyde, okay, when did black people become white? That's a very hard situation. And because the thing is this is that you continually see this, but it appears that when Ukrainian prostitutes got very popular, then many people used to go and buy those Ukrainian prostitutes so they could lighten up people, They that's one of the reasons why. And so then if you remember in 1751, Benjamin Franklin said that just about everybody was dark. Just think 1751. But by 1951, most of the Americans were white. And see, but the whole point is this is that you had to understand is that they never got rid of the black people. What happened is that we just went along. See, it's more black people in the United States than white. Even though you've been taught that it's more white people than black. No, it is more foundational black Americans than white people. I mean, once you get out of state, once you go to states like Wyoming, North Carolina, North Dakota, South Dakota, it's more people in Chicago, black people in Chicago on the south side. And I'm not even talking on the west side. Right. There's more black people in Chicago on the south side. That is more than all the black people, North Dakota, South Dakota, Wyoming, all that type of stuff. But see, we always had a policy of to go along to get along. And because we had a policy of to go, I know you look like you're getting a headache. Yes, it is a headache. It is a headache to believe.
It's a self-inflicted wound. Like
it is.
It keeps poking its little nasty head out.
Right. Because you're saying to yourself, why do we accept the fact? Why do we allow them? Why do we allow them to really run things? Because they never really ran any damn thing. They never ran anything. They got all the money.
Some we're gonna let when you teach your child how to drive, which I've never done that yet because our oldest isn't old enough yet, but she's getting close. So then it's like, well, when I was learning how to drive, that passenger driver that doesn't want you to smack the car in front of you, get us pulled over, cause an accident, make the insurance rates go up and all that stuff. That actually really stresses out the driver, the new driver who's just trying to get it right. So you say, all right, I'm gonna let you drive. And I know that it might seem like you're about to hit that car in front of us, but you're gonna get right close to it. You didn't actually hit it. You might go a little too fat, but still, I'm not gonna worry about it. You're gonna get us to the destination. Is that where we are? Like we've been on top for so long that we needed this break, interruption, or recalibration? Because I don't
see. This is it. Is that you had a conflict? Okay, you had a conflict back in the day, and so what happened is that you had all these black Indians, and these black Indians with their dumb asses, they wanted to feel that they were superior. See, you got to remember is that we're very tribalistic. Yeah. And because we're a very tribalistic people, that's why you find all these tribes that was existing in America. Now they're gone, but they didn't go anywhere. What they did is they just allowed themselves to be recognized as black, as black people. Right. And the reason they did that because here's the whole point, just like when the Red Indians in 1831, all the Red Indians they ran to Oklahoma, So they ran to Oklahoma, but the black Indians, they stayed in North Carolina, Virginia, Maine, all those type of places. They stayed, and in a way, they prospered, you see. Okay. Then you say, how the hell can you say they prospered when we're always been below the poverty line? Granted, in a way, we have been in a sense of people in a sense that may have been below the poverty line in many cases, but at the same time, we've always been a people who've been very ambitious. We've always been a people in a sense who have always found a way to live and not just survive. Mm-hmm. See, the European has always wanted to make us be in a position where we were just surviving, but we always found a way to be more than just survivors. You know what I'm talking about? You see? Sure. And so then therefore, Every black person was docile in the South. Every black person was being hung. That's the myth they teach you. But there was a lot of crazy niggas in the South that white people did not touch.
That part. I ran down a TikTok rabbit hole one day, and it was talking about these stories of if you just ask your grandparents, especially if you are a Black American living in an area that isn't where your family's from. Not that that's not where your parents were born or that your grandparent ended up, but if you are one of those people, talk to them, because it might be on some, they had to handle some business and then get out of Dodge.
Yeah.
And then because they're not in the numbers that they want us to think that they are, they can't actually follow up on all of these things and or karma. If you were messing with somebody in a bad way and you got handled because it was
But see,
karmic, maybe justice was to leave you
look
alone.
at it. Look at when they came to get brothers in the middle of the damn night. And they would wait. See, Europeans were like gangbangers. And they were gangbangers. They wait a while. They'll let you go to sleep. That's about every black home that had at least two guns in the house. Usually had a shotgun. Then you had a 22 rifle because, you didn't like to shoot rabbits with a shotgun because a lot of times, you ain't got nothing to eat.
Oh, no more rabbits.
So you had to be kind of expert in that. So then the European would come and he would just come. See, we always got the idea that the European was just always coming and doing this and doing that to us. Yes, he was very oppressive. Yes, he was in a sense a danger, but he wasn't always in a sense suppressing us. That's why a lot of times he had to come in the middle of the night to get you. Then a lot of times he would have to have Uncle Tom, or Uncle Ramus to help them to get you. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And so,
Absolutely.
And so then therefore, in a sense, it was much more complicated. But see, we always been taught this. See, we've been taught this history that has no real reflection on us. You see, right. That's one of the reasons why. That's why I do my Thursday programs. And see, just like now how when I started saying that started talking about the fact is that our slave names were not our surnames and all that type of stuff.
Right.
And then in a sense, a lot of people start saying, it's not. Well, then you got to look at it from a different perspective. Because see, remember, look at this. The South Africans, they came to America. Remember, they came to America to learn how to dominate the black people in South Africa.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Why would they come to America if black people were the minority to learn how to dominate a black population that's the majority?
Absolutely. I agree with you. I've seen the data there. And yeah, you said, and it's probably your Thursday shows are really educational. And I think that you present the information in a way that people can pick it up, because 2% to 98% has never sat well with me unless they had perfected it somewhere. So you got the Nazis who, perfected things based off of how, white America was doing things to us. And then you've got South Africans who've perfected apartheid because of how they were able to study us and, or not us, but just their treatment and our acceptance of said treatment. So that tribalism thing that you were talking about being ours, melanated people have always been tribal, but I think that is flat black in a bad way. And I think that our Black American, Native Black American, foundational Black American, all of us, our lineage can and has shown the rest of the world how they're supposed to do it. And then people who are over here, well, I just feel like it's an entitlement thing at this point. So, you've got a lot of confusion going on. And at what cost? People do get what they want ultimately, but did they do the things to get it at the level that they wanted it or not? And I guess extenuating circumstances happen. I don't know if everybody who's homeless wants to be homeless as much as maybe people who have been homeless have figured out a way to get out of that situation, with help or support or themselves. Go ahead.
I think it's kind of complicated. Some homeless people became homeless off of different reasons. A lot of times they lost a job or they fell into hard times. I mean, a lot of people now are in their 50s, and a lot of people today, a lot of people didn't have children and all that type of stuff. And so it's different reasons that I think. But I think the thing is that a lot of the homeless disappeared for a while, and now we're getting back a lot of homeless because see, a lot of homeless. This is what they say. They say a lot of homeless they said it was during the 80s and 90s. It was an interstellar slave trade. This is what they say. Okay. They said that aliens were buying humans and taking them to work on factories in outer space. This is what some people say. And so that's one of the reasons why so many Black people are missing and they don't know where they are. So many Black people are missing, they don't know where they are and how they're disappearing and why they're snatching them off the street. So
invasion of the body snatchers.
No, not the invasion of the body snatchers. Just hey.
No, I don't mean. I mean people snatching bodies, not people snatching.
Remember a couple of
like that way. I just meant like snatching people up off the streets.
Remember a couple of years ago, they caught those Africans who were snatching those women off the streets, and we don't know what they were told.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I will believe that before I believe aliens. I think people got to pick a struggle. And not that I don't believe in aliens. I think we got a lot on our plate right now. And if there's things that have consciousness in the same way that we do existing with us that are not from here, good luck. Because, the people in charge don't like different unless it's something that they can exploit or take for them. So, but
they say the people in charge some people say the people in charge are made a deal. So why not?
Maybe
but I don't really care because I'm old. My sperm is no good. And people my age now you're prime. You're still young and prime. You got good eggs, but my sperm is raggedy and stuff. Is no good. I mean, it might happenstance, but that's why they want to get the young and they take her out. But again, in a sense, I could care less. And maybe there is an interstellar slave trade. It's stopped though now. It's stopped though.
There might be a transnational slave trade of the conspiracy type where organ donations. I don't know if that's I don't have organ donor on my license. I don't think that's information that people need to know because if I'm dead, just bury me completely it's something or let me help my family because I put it in my will or something.
That's nothing new. A lot of Black people back in the 70s and back in the 40s and the 30s, 40s, and 50s. A lot of times they pops might go out and not come home, They being killed them and take them to a hospital and stuff. And still, none of this is new. None of this is new. See, none of this is new. So then therefore, in a sense, is that we're assets. As Black people, kiss him on the head. We're assets, make him feel wanted. But anyway, we're assets. Black people are seen as assets over here. In other words, what is an asset? An asset is something that people use to make money. They make money off of us. And they make money off of us because the fact is that we're going to find a way to make things start popping. We're going to find a way to make things just happen. See, that's how American culture became Black culture.
I would agree with that. And that goes back to my unrealized gains. There are people out here with potential, and it might just be because they're not old enough to do anything about the things that they want to do. They don't have the resources yet. They got a lot of thoughts. They got a lot of energy. They got a lot of heart, a lot of everything else that's not resources and maybe experience, but all that other stuff that is lacking, out here, they got that. But then, they don't get the ability to get there because of other people, or maybe they are premature death. Black babies being casualties of this war on us. And that's insane. Like, the babies can't do anything, but they'll grow up and be somebody who that's the Jesus story. We're going to kill all these little baby boys because we can't have him being born. And then they don't ever kill Jesus because, well, he's the chosen one, of course. He's got that cloak of Amma around him to where, you can try. You can try.
Karen say Black men has always had a good life with light women. I don't know about that, but I do believe like this is that, you have to understand in a sense is that we're an asset. We're an asset. Why the Caucasian sees us as an asset. They see us as a way to make money. Therefore, it may appear sometimes in a sense that they're allowing you to go wild, they're allowing you to do this, or they're allowing you to do that. Yes, but they know in a sense is that if they hang around you long enough, you're going to think of something that's going to help them to make money.
Absolutely.
You see?
They had a whole practice called meritorious manumission. If you make your life better, then you can get your freedom. Or if you throw your life on the line for mine and you don't die, you can get your freedom.
But see that
you don't have because it made their life easier. That's meritorious manumission.
Yeah, but they never really never hardly very few people see that's the whole thing about when they talk about the free Black population. When they talk about the free Black population and they talk about the colored population, people keep thinking in a sense that the free Blacks and the coloreds were people who who in a sense
they were given their freedom.
Given their freedom.
Right.
They're not. They weren't given. They wasn't allowing nobody to be free. You either fought for freedom or you ran away. But see what it is that's part of the mythology. That's part of the mythology. See, because the fact is that your ancestry. That's why Dr. Short. Just looking at some of the stuff he's done. But see, that's why when you start checking with your ancestry, you start finding out in a sense that is much more complicated than you thought. Because see, the further back you go to some Black European, or you go to some Indian who had a damn European name.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And see, because the fact is that the European has always wanted us to be focusing on Africa. Because see, they owe you money. They don't owe you money just because of your labor. They owe you money because they stole your land. They stole your property. And I'm not talking about the 40 acres and a mule,
Oh, yeah.
That they talked about. They stole your land. And see,
I'm right there with you. Yes.
If you go back far enough, then you can do this. And see, so they're afraid. That's why they really had to keep those Caribbean people. They really had to keep the Caribbean people all keep their mind all cloudy and fucked up. Because the thing is that a lot of them, they got the ship manifest that has the name on it that show where they came from England before they became the damn slave. I'm not talking about from Africa. And so then therefore, in a sense, it's all about money. It's all about money, Eve.
Oh,
It's about money, Eve.
Of course. Maybe money's the number one killer in America.
It is the number one killer in America, and the lack of money can also hurt you, because the lack of money leads to you getting what? A broken heart.
That's
See,
damn circle.
it is a circle. It is a circle, but the circle can be broken. But see, the circle it's hard. It's hard because see, I look at it from this perspective: is that I like to think about my baby doll, and I said that aha. I said, aha. She had heart trouble, high blood pressure, all that type of stuff, I never got high blood pressure, as fat as I am, And so then once this doctor one day this doctor said it's because of a broken heart. And see that's the thing, is that our women often, no matter what they do, it's hard for our women not to have a broken heart, because the fact is that a lot of times the things that our women want is very hard for them to get. What do our women want? Our women want very simple things. They want their family to be happy, and they want their family to be successful, and they want and because of that means in a sense that so much hurt comes to them through their family, their children, maybe their relatives, but especially through their children. Because the thing is that you always want your children to be safe. You always want your children to be a manifestation of your reality of abundance. That's why like you've said many times, is that one of the most important things to you is food and how you prepare the food. And you said, I think it's one of your babies who always rubbing his tummy or something.
Yeah.
And I'm hungry, Mom. And you fix it. And the thing is, it's just,
guys, he's not rubbing his belly because he doesn't eat. He's just being funny.
Wants more.
Always.
Yeah.
Mighty big appetite that he's got.
Yeah, and so see, this is the whole point. And so that's why the number one killer. That's why for this program, family, I had a heart, but you had the heart, but then you had the pills around it. Because see, it's always this constant. It's this constant thing. It's this constant need for us to try to find a way to ease the pain. And a lot of times we feel that we can get some pills, maybe have some sex, and maybe in a sense these things can heal the pain. But these things are usually temporary. They're temporary because see, I'll never forget. It took me a long time, and I forgot who told me this. It was somebody who told me. They said it was somebody who taught me years ago, and they said that instead of you wanting to control people, why don't you love them the way they are? And that was a real strong statement, because it helped me to be able to deal with my problem in terms of how I felt about my children, because see, I felt in the sense of that if you accept them for who they are, because your children, they're going to do what they want to do, but you always have dreams. You always have dreams for them, and because you have dreams for them, then therefore, in a sense, you don't like it when they don't do your dream. They don't fulfill your promise. They didn't make a damn promise to you. They never promised you a thing. They didn't promise you any damn thing. But you made in a sense a silent promise to yourself that they would do this or they would do that. Mm-hmm. And so then it's very hard. And then and like people say, as a man, I guess we do want to control more than our wives, more than our ladies. A lot of times a woman is much more free-hearted in terms of how she allows her child to grow. But at the same time, even though she's more free-hearted with how she allows her child to grow, she still gets greater pain. She gets greater pain because the fact is that most women, except with their man, they never really talk to their kids about the dreams that they want their kids to do for them. Whereas as a man, we want to I want you to do this. Take your ass to college, and you better graduate, nigga. What? I'm whooping your ass. And then, but then after a while, you can't. They're not. After a while, they're not afraid of you anymore, and you know, they're not afraid of you, and so then therefore,
right. You got to be able to. I guess boys have to be able to show their dad that they can handle things, and I guess it would start in the home, kind of. I feel like what you're talking about is one of those. As a millennial, that might be something that we're trying to course correct. But I find that every time people talk about parenting or like how they were parented and then how they parented, you know, they're always trying to fix something that they got, and not that they gave it to their mini perfectly, because then their mini is going to grow up and say, and I'm not going to ever do this. And then the cycle continues. But expectations, I think you're supposed to talk with the minis about your expectations because of that heartbreak that you're talking about. You know, we don't want to make things harder than they have to be. And essentially here, if they say that they've got interest in something, then I want to see that you have it. I don't want to just hear you saying, oh yeah, well, it'd be cool. You know, I want to see some application. And then it gets me going to put you in things or give you more exposure to, or put you around, or, you know, I don't know.
But the problem is that very few black families have the wherewithal and the finances to really be able to push their children in the fields they want to do. Okay, like the average white person. The average white person, you know, they may have a good position and they may be able to help your daughter or your son do something, and you help their daughter or their son fulfill their dreams. You see, when we go to college to get a job, whereas white people go to college to get educated, you know. And because they go to college to get educated, they'll go ahead and they'll graduate with a degree in history and they'll make it.
Right.
They'll make it. But if your ass go to college and graduate with a degree in history, if you don't become a teacher, you're going to be on the damn street in a damn tent. Yep. That's not fair. But see, and then somebody will come up to you and say, life isn't fair. No, that's not right. You see,
it's not right.
Why is it that they can go to school and they can study to be a historian, and they can come out and they'll get a job, and they'll get a good ass job with their history degree, and you'll come out, and if you don't have you'll come out with a degree in history, and if you can't get a job at McDonald's, you know, then you may not go anywhere. You see.
That's for sure. You better rely on that application because they're gonna say you're overqualified.
Right.
Don't you put that history degree on that application?
Yeah. You know, and then and so then you're always being competitive. You're always being, and see, but see, my kids have been kind of successful in a lot of things they want to do because of a dream my wife had. My wife had a dream one day, and we used to talk about our dreams back in the day. And I said, what did you dream about? She said, I don't remember the dream, but the words I remember is education is good and bonus is better. And so I made my children have that as their mantra. Education is good, bonus is better, you know. And they've always, in a sense, they've always used that as their mantra. And they've got a lot, they've got a lot out of life, you know. A lot of things that they've done, you know, that I may have wanted something else, but then they didn't go to jail. They're taking care of their families. Because my main objective was for my sons to understand is that you don't quit. You don't quit. You don't quit on your woman. You don't quit on your children. You don't quit. I'll never forget this girl. She was going with one of my sons. And she said, you know, the one thing about you winners is you always give your kids time to do what they want to do in life. She said, I had to leave when I was 18. I said, well, your mama and daddy, they messed you up because back in the day, you had to be 20 to get a factory job. So leaving at 18, where the hell were you going to go? And I've even had people, even in the chat talk about they can't wait to get rid of their kids. They can't wait till their kids get out on their own. But what's the use of sending your kids on their own if they're not qualified? What's the use of sending your kid on their own if they don't have the wherewithal to be able to be independent? You see? And if they're not independent, they're going to always be running back to you, see? Because the number one killer in America is what? A broken heart. And a broken heart comes from when you don't have the money to make the dreams come true. And a broken heart comes with our women, with you girls, because the fact you want to make people do shit, but you don't want to say it out loud.
Y'all better be mind readers.
You got that right. You said it. You said it. Family, did you hear that? Eve was not joking. So much of our relations are your partner is supposed to be able to read your mind, because you don't want to say the things. I don't. Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Why is it that you girls don't want to really always tell your children or even your man how you really feel about stuff? Why is it sometimes you may sugarcoat it instead of being brutally honest?
Great question. I guess if I had to put my universal hat on, it would be, it takes too long. Honestly, like, it might be quicker to just say the nice thing or say the what we know you want to hear thing, because to unpack how we really feel, maybe y'all don't actually really give a damn about all those words. And then from there, we kind of know that already. So to save us a headache and stress and future arguments, it's just, let me just go with a more superficial type of response.
That's deep.
But I was thinking about that earlier. You're timely with that question. And it's not fair that you have to be a mind reader if you have a woman and you give a damn. I mean, because you could have a woman and not care, and then you're not even thinking about what she's thinking about, because you're thinking about something else. You're not thinking about her at all. She's a trophy or a utilitarian. You got someone to help you do the things, and then you're on to other things. But
even if you have a trophy wife, you still they don't still tell you everything. I'm not.
Those are not going to, because that's more of the, it's going to take too long. And since I'm not really here for the conversation, like what are we doing?
But every man really thinks his wife is a trophy, or thinks his woman is a trophy. I mean, he may not act like it. I mean, like your man feels that you, Eve, he feels that he's got $1 million. See, black men feel, in a sense, that we've been conditioned, and Tariq always talks about the fact that a white man has $1 million just off of his whiteness.
Right?
But see, we feel that our woman has $1 million off of her femininity, in a sense. Then you hear somebody talking about, well, this woman is acting more masculine, and that's all bullshit. When you have your woman, in a sense, then your woman is everything to you. Your woman is everything about you. A lot of times, a real kind woman, a real good woman, she doesn't make her man, in a sense, show his inferiority to her. She protects him. She protects him. You see, a lot of it is protection, because see, remember, as I said before, as a man, I think serially. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's how we move, and step by step. As a woman, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, 7, 20. You see, that's how women, because see, you use both sides of your brain all the time. We only have access to one side of our brain at a time. So then therefore that limits us in terms of how we can respond to reality.
Yikes.
Yeah, reality is two different realities. But see, but at the same time, so you spend a lot of your time trying to give your woman what you feel she wants. You see, often she wants you to automatically just know what she wants, which is impossible.
That makes you look. If you are the man who can do that, then you got to write a book, because I don't know how you do it.
You can't do it.
Know that it's impossible, but I still want it. Some things I shouldn't have to ask, because you should know, and I don't know why you don't know, and I don't know what I expect you to know.
Me neither.
You absolutely have to know. And I mean, sometimes it's like honey, where's the ketchup? Like, okay, no, you know where the ketchup is, but I got to tell you where the ketchup is. It's staring you right in your face. You know where the ketchup. Okay. So maybe it's something that's been told to you over and over and over again. You should know. I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about what I want, what I really want, what I absolutely want. And it's not a McLaren, and it's not a yacht. And I don't even know if I could tell you what it is, but I'll know it when you get it for me. And I don't know if it's.
But you're being honest. You're being honest.
But I think that's why we don't go into all of that. Because first of all, that's insanity. Nobody wants to get stuck on the island of Delulu. Because if you're feeding me here on the island of delusional, nothing's going to get done. You're going to be talking sweet nothings. Yeah. Love don't pay the rent. And then, damn, I got to leave you because you're not providing, because you fed into my delusion. I think.
But then some people
have all of those thoughts.
Some people can live off delusion, because some people in a sense, because they see in the past, a smart black woman back in the 20s and 30s, they knew that their man wasn't going to have a damn job when they went to the city. They knew that man wasn't going to have a damn job. They knew that 9 to 1, they might could get a job working in somebody. Oh yeah, they knew 9 to 1, they might could get a job working in somebody's house. You know, cleaning this house or cleaning their houses. You know, but that's why the key word to the average black man has always been hustle. How do you hustle?
What time frame again was that? What time frame did you just say?
That was the what, 20s. Ever since we left the plantation.
That's what I thought.
You know, sharecropping. I was in control. Sharecropping, massa. I got 6 kids, and I got my old lady over there, and can we come and work on your farm, and we'll grow crop, and then can we do that, massa? Then they say, yeah, you can come on over here, bring your children, and bring your wife. But see, when you went to the urban area, no. Black man, you sit your ass at home. Now the sister might get a job cleaning house, cooking, and then if she can get a job in a real fine home, she might get her man a job as a chauffeur, valet, or butler. See, so then that.
Thank a union member for the ability to work and clean white people's tubs.
Yeah, that's
what you're saying during the time.
Yeah, that was beautiful. That's how they made it. And then later you might get a job in a factory or something like that. But the vast majority of black men have always been hustling. Once we left the plantation, we've been hustling, because they would get that sister that job in that house to clean, in that house to cook. You see, and but usually in a sense that's why the number one, the first word to come out of a brother's mouth when he a kid is, "Can I go hustle?" That's not true. That's not true, family. But it may as well be true. You know, it's always about a hustle. And we've always. That's why, like today, when they talk about the black woman making more, the black woman always made more than a man. Shit, always
on paper, because that's how it's been designed. I mean, going back to the big house, if Sapphire is got proximity to them people because I mean, she's getting paid maybe in pennies, but there is some sort of transactional situation happening. And then I'm sorry, Kamala is telling everybody that we need to thank union members when the union is the reason that the skilled labor was quarantined off from the skilled laborers, which were you and me. But y'all you can't have the job anymore because we got to pay you. So we're going to hire a whole bunch of people who don't know how to do it, and children, our own children. And now we got child labor laws too, because actually they dying in these factories. So gotta hire the niggas again. Oh shucks.
See, that's why I always say I'm a union man. But I'm a union man because I was a teacher, and so we had a union. I mean, the union really for the first 50 years of the union was against us because we had all the trades. We were the tradesmen.
Exactly.
And so then they started unions to keep us out of the trades.
Absolutely.
And so then therefore, as I said, is that there's never been a time when the black man was the sole provider. Never. Except in a sense when we were sharecropping. Because when you're a sharecropper, you as a black man could go and present yourself to a white man and tell him you're bringing your family. Outside of sharecropping, once we left the plantation, it's always been the woman got the job, and then you hustle. You find some way to hustle and stuff. And it's been like that. And you're saying to yourself, Dr. Winters, what the fuck are you talking about? The black man always ran the family. The black man, in a sense, is toxic masculinity. No, it ain't never been no damn toxic masculinity because he's never had any damn control. You make me feel like a man. It's you. It's your woman that makes you feel like a man because everywhere else you're a piece of shit. You feel like a piece of shit because the thing is that is your woman. And see, that's why our women, in a sense, experience the number one killer, which is heart trouble. And why do they have heart trouble? Because they're trying to, in a sense, find a way to push their man towards success without him knowing that he's being pushed towards success. And then you're saying to yourself, how the hell do you do that? It's very difficult. See. But then in a sense, that's why most of the time you try to work through grandma, and grandma say, get out there and get a damn job. Come on, get out there. Keep on trying, I mean, it's true. The black man go out and look for black guys go out and look for a job. If they be told 3 times they're not hiring, they give up on a damn job. A sister, she can go 6, 7 times. She's gonna keep on hustling until she get that job. Because that's the way it's set up. Do you understand? Is that a real man understands that it's his woman who makes him feel like a man. It's not society, you see. But then as a man, when you're allowed to be a man, then you feel in the sense is that you feel that you have some control when in reality you have no control. Because once we left the plantation, everything was aimed towards your woman. Your woman could get that job. I mean, just like my grandmama and them. So my grandmama, when she was cleaning houses, my auntie, she was working at a hospital as a nurse's aide and stuff. And then later her husband got a construction job who could give my father construction jobs and stuff like that. But that's why all of our women have always, by the time they got 35, they was having high blood pressure. Hopefully you don't have to take high blood pressure pills and all that type of issue. But most of the time, just trying to survive, just trying to have your family make it, trying to make sure in a sense that you can keep that man working and not giving up. Because he ready to give up in a damn moment's notice. Yes.
Yeah.
We don't have that strength. We don't have that strength. We need you. And so that's why in a sense the number one killer in America is high blood pressure, is stress. Because you're trying to disguise your pain. You're trying to disguise in a sense your hurt. And at the same time, in a sense, you want to make your man feel like he's somebody. Here's somebody said, KR said, some women are evasive because they want to control a situation, sort of an esoteric communication style, or in the habit of saying what they want others to hear for approval. Of course you do that. But the thing is, that's because you feel safe. And at the same time, in a sense, it makes you a man because, see, remember, brother, you know, a woman, whatever, you're trying to make your man feel like a man when he doesn't feel like a man. You're trying to make your man feel like he can go out there and he can stand up and he can be somebody in a sense. See, that's why he's always constantly trying to hug your ass or kiss you or whatever, you know. You might even say, damn, I don't feel like making no love tonight. I'll give him a little sex. Damn, don't he know we ain't got no damn money for food? And don't he know this? Don't he know that? Damn, I'm tired. You see, I'm tired. But then you never say it out loud. As a black woman, you never say out loud you're tired. That's why I remember when my wife one day, she said she was sick. And I said, my mama never said she was sick. You're not sick. And that was when I stopped being the king. I lost it. But I didn't understand is that you keep your feelings inside. But at the same time, you keep your feelings inside in a sense. That's why the number one killer is heart trouble. That's why the number one killer is a broken heart. I didn't make that heart a symbol for this program for nothing. You know, people said, you got a heart. Everybody know that black people in a sense have heart trouble, blah, 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 high blood pressure, but they don't know why. And the why is that we love so hard.
Yes.
We love very hard. See?
Self-inflicted wound. Rearing its ugly head again. You know, if only we could just be more selfish, you know, maybe we'd live longer. But
you try to be selfish, but the only problem with being selfish is that we sometimes give in. Look at these baby mamas. These baby mamas, they can go maybe 2-3 years and they can maybe be abstinent, I guess, whatever you want to call it. And then all of a sudden, but then sooner or later, they still have to give in to their nature, to want a companionship, you know. Yeah. And the thing is hard, and you know, and then you know, like I mean, the only bisexual, you can only have my daughter always say you can only have a bisexual woman.
Yes,
a man cannot be bisexual. Sooner or later, he's gonna go all the way over, you know. But see,
even if he doesn't go all the way over, if you're a man that likes to take it, then you're gay.
Yeah. You
can still like women. You're still gay, and just own it.
But after a while, you're not going to like, and after a while, you're not going to deal with women because remember in a sense is that woman in a sense, she's not going to be always ready, but men are always ready to do something freaky. You know.
You said that before, and I just, that's.
Yeah, it's the truth. It's the truth. But the point, and so then that's why it's so easy for a lot of people to become gay, because see, when you become gay, you can have freedom, and you can have freedom in a sense without any, and be freedom with a banyan. Whereas in a sense, to be a man you have to be responsible. A man, you in a sense, you want at least in a sense to be with your woman who can make you feel. See, that's why most of the time when you find a gay brother, he's all the way gay. He's very effeminate. He's not really strong. He's not really aggressive, you know, and that's the way it is, because see, the thing is, this is that, you know, I'm not going to be talking my street stuff, but it's just in the sense is that they can't do that, because see, to do that, to really be masculine means that you have to, in a sense, sometimes you have to have discipline. But see, to be gay, you don't have to have any discipline. You don't have to have any discipline. To be a man, you got to sometime in a sense want to be a symbol for your wife and for your partner and for your children. Right. Because you want your children and your partner to at least feel that they're protected. Even if you can't get a job and make any money.
Well, that's why we don't necessarily say everything that's on our minds. You know, we can understand that some things are out of your control. And I mean, maybe that's an old woman way of thinking, and maybe old women ways of thinking needs to come back.
But old women have partners. Old thinking women have a partner.
That's what I'm saying. Like, for what it's worth, if you're a perpetual baby mom looking for companionship, it might be, things that you have control over that you could be doing a little bit differently. Maybe you don't say everything that you're thinking, because everything's not meant to be said out loud. Like, I learned that at home. If you ain't got something nice to say, don't say it. And that's home training. We've talked about this before with hygiene, but it's home training that's missing and lacking. And that's why people can't have the meaning of life that they're looking for. So then they die.
But see, a lot of times, most women talk themselves into stuff. A lot of times, most women won't allow a man. Like I used to tell my daughter, I said, if you really want to find a good mate, you got to go to their mind. You got to make them talk. You had to make them vulnerable. You had to make them want to share. But see, if you're going to always explain everything to them, if you're going to always have an answer for them, if you're going to always, in a sense, be the first to give in, the first to take control, the first to take you're going to take the reins, and therefore, in a sense, I can easily quit you because you're a strong woman. I can quit a strong woman. Look at the movies. You have the blonde, weak blonde, and you have, in a sense, the redhead who's independent and self-righteous. Then the redhead say, I know I love you, but you can be with Jane. Oh, you're the given dumbass. But see, that's why a real woman understands that you make your man understand the number one thing your man needs to know is that you need him and you want him. What are you talking about? You need and you want your partner. You see? Because see, most of the time, though, women are so independent that it's easy to quit a woman who's independent because you feel she'll find somebody else.
And she doesn't need you. If she's
but she does. But she does need you. She's a woman. But the point is this: is because of the fact she's been conditioned by her mom and her aunties to feel, in the sense that she got to be always taking control and don't even want to show any type of weakness, then therefore, in a sense, she loses. You see, you win by it's just like in a sense, the world of war. The world of war is that sometimes, in a sense, you finge weakness in war, so you can draw the enemy in, and then you surround them and you crush them. You see?
Right.
And see, but most women don't understand is that your independence does not make me feel that I should stay with you. Your independence allows me to be free.
Oh yeah. But that's the trick bag, right? Because women, you are independent, bosses, all those things that society wants you to aspire towards. And then you want a man because your biology is working, but then you can't find one. And then you're not realizing that it is you existing in this way that they've taught you that you think is your own. It's other energies and not yourself. Because I think that naturally, well, what you said about men being a man because they have a woman to be a man for, I say it like that, but that's kind of how I took it. And I don't necessarily agree, but I'm not a man, so I guess a man would have to disagree to really have a little debate. But I just think that to be a woman, it would have to be to contrast or complement the man. I can exist in my 100% authentic self.
No. Go ahead.
If I have a man who's letting me do that. If I don't, then I won't.
But see, but then the whole point is this: is that you'll never be 100% living your authentic self, because your authentic self will say, "Nigga, get your ass up and get that shit together. Stop. Get your
authentic self with reservation."
That's right. There you go. There
Still
you
not
go.
telling all of it.
Reservation.
We're still not saying all.
No, we're not going to say it all.
To a level of comfort that I think we could aspire towards, to make the
Okay.
man laugh a little bit. We could having a man that helps us be us. If I don't have to think about my surroundings, not that I'm
Yeah.
soft target, but I know that he's got the exits covered, or I know that things have been taken care of, things that I want taken care of with regards to logistics and protection, and how is it going to get done? You want me to feed you? Give me the money so that I can go get you the food that you want to eat.
Yeah.
I'll cook it. But if you don't provide, either you went out and hunted and got it for me so I could prepare it,
Yeah.
or you gave me the funds so I could go out and gather it and then prepare it. But
Yeah.
it's
But then you reach
It'd be great.
a point. But then you reach a point where if he can't get the money and until he can get the money. This is the thing that messes up people today, is that they want to have a relationship like anytime you want to be like white folks, you're going to fail. Anytime you want to be like white folks, you're going to fail because you're not white. And you always got to remember is that white people see you as superior to them. And so anytime you want to be like them, you're going to fail. But anyway, we've been talking a long time, and I'm not going to hold you any longer. And because I've been holding this woman captive. Yes. I decided that I was going to hold her captive and make her have to say whatever. But no, we've been sharing knowledge, I believe.
For sure. It's a reality check, and sometimes it takes a little while to unpack. But I think that this is something that we probably should have talked about already because of the gravity of it all. To have these co-ed conversations from different perspectives, and then to know that we are being assaulted on all these different fronts. If there are Black women who are listening to us, Black men who listen to us, then maybe y'all will give a damn to talk more to each other, because it's the communication. We always kind of land there. Without the communication, you fall out of love. That's that heartbreak, heart disease, death of the heart, because you used to love, you used to know how, and then you stop caring enough to find out if things have changed. Or the landscape's changed in 10 years, but we won't talk to our partner that we're laying up with every night about things.
And the thing that people don't understand is that people say, okay, I changed. You're changing every day. You're changing every day. But the point is this, is that you've changed a lot more. You've changed a lot more since you first met your partner.
Right.
But the thing that keeps you together is that although there's an evolution, and this evolution has been in a sense integrated into your life through what? Communication.
Yes.
That's why the key to any situation is communication, discourse. You see, but many people don't understand is that, it's easy to make sex. It's easy to make sex. It's hard to make love, because to make love, in a sense, that means in a sense that you're sharing all of you, and they're sharing all of themselves. And by you sharing, then therefore, in a sense, there's a meeting of the mind. You see, this is not what life is all about. This is what life is all about.
Right.
You see, is that you're coming together and you're joining. You see, but the number in America is heartbreak. The number one killer in America is the fact, in a sense, is that we have broken hearts, and it's easy to get a broken heart, because a broken heart doesn't always have to come from your partner. It can come from your children. It can come from good friends. Because see, love is our biggest weakness, and some people run away from it because they believe that but love is also our greatest strength because it's through right because it's through
Because of what?
because it's through our love of other people, our love of God that allows us in a sense to navigate this hard world.
I would agree, and then just add a layer of devil's advocate for you because self-love, if you don't give a damn about you, then nobody's going to give a damn about you, not really. And then
Right.
that, I mean, a broken heart because you don't live up to who you thought you were or who people thought you were or what things are supposed to be based off of things you said you wanted. I layered.
It is layered. And you know what makes it even worse is because sometimes you can become so close to your partner. That's what I want out of life. That can come, but see, when you become as one, then therefore, in a sense, it's very hard for you to navigate the world. Because see, if your partner and you are as one, then they're feeling the same way you are. So it's very difficult in a sense to be able to understand the rest of the universe. You see?
Right.
And so it's very difficult. But so we seek it. The Dojo Amanda said, love is too much of a vulnerable feeling for me to find use for it. I can only love myself because I can only trust myself. How can you tell if someone also loves you? But you're lying to yourself because you don't trust yourself. Because if you trusted yourself, you would never overeat. If you trusted yourself, you would not be
It's true.
killing it. So then, therefore, in a sense, you're lying. Stop lying. Stop lying.
But I think it's a good point though, because it's honest. It's saying that you don't trust people because people be people in. If like I said earlier, women don't necessarily tell you everything that's on our mind because it's going to take too long. Y'all really don't give a damn. And what happened? Oh, there you are. We don't actually say all of the words, but it could just be because we're trying to be nice, trying to just play it safe within the conversation. So, not wanting to be bogged down with somebody's lies. They said they love me. It looks like they love me. I don't know. I don't know.
You never know.
Wolf in sheep's clothes, right?
But you never know.
Loves us, and she loved the non-English speakers, and she she loved the niggas. She can be everybody and love everybody.
And see, but it's complicated because see, you only when you say you love somebody, you're taking a chance on life. You see, that's why a lot of brothers like white girls, because white girls, they can fall in and out of love real easy because they feel free. But a sister, hard for you to fall in and out of love because every time the love doesn't work out, it puts a pain in women because they can continually keep going. It look like, even though they can be, but I think it's because most white women expect to be a piece of shit, and since they expect, yes, I do. I know you don't believe it, but I think most white women expect to be shit on, and that's why, in a sense, I think that that's why they can take the pain so much. When I was teaching, I'd have all these white women in my class, and the white women had been married, but now they were with a boyfriend, or they were a single mom. But
Right.
then a lot of us, we always get on our women for being single moms. Same thing with them. This is the Western Hemisphere.
Right.
This is the Western Hemisphere. Because of the Western Hemisphere, idea of slavery. And slavery, in a sense, was misusing your fellow man. And they carried misusing their fellow man over into their over into their families. KR says, but how do you do weakness? Relationship is good, allows you to support each other, and that you understand what responsibilities need to be shared, knowing strengths and weaknesses. True. But then again, in the sense is that we still want to put all the things on the woman. Your ass go to work, come home and cook, baby. You went to work too. I know, but you cook. Wait a minute. Damn, that bathroom is really fucked up. John, can you go clean the bathroom? Yeah, I'll go clean it, baby. I'll put that on the to-do list. It's gonna get done now. And then you clean the damn kitchen. You clean the bathroom.
Yeah, no, we've had that conversation. I think don't say you can do something you're not actually gonna do, or that you can do, or anything like that. Dojo, I don't think he said a lot of brothers love white girls as much as he was saying why they love the brothers that love white girls, why they love them. I would agree with you. I think
they can love. They can't love them. A white person cannot love you, so it can't really be love. You can get married.
You got the pet syndrome going on with
There you go. Say that again.
It's
pet
syndrome.
Right.
But I think Black men do when they allow themselves to love, I find that they love harder. But it could be because of what you said earlier about how y'all are serial. If you're thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, then you would cut this, check this, do that. What?
Yeah.
I don't think he called you fat. You might be in the earlier in the show, Dojo. We were talking about fat. I don't think you didn't call nobody fat. I think you might be catching the chat and the conversation out of order, Dojo. We're gonna have to listen to the playback on that, but
right, because I'm fat. I'm fat.
he's called himself fat tonight. We know fat fraudulent business YouTubers, but we won't go into that.
Yeah,
he's not killing nobody, but
anyway, again, again, I think we've had another great talk tonight, and did you want to close it?
I'm just glad we are able to have these tough conversations that people don't think we're going to be able to do, because it just shows how much y'all niggas don't have original thoughts. And I don't even think these thoughts are original as much as I was that student. Y'all ready to go? And I might have another question. And I've learned to ask these questions after class. But then, if the teacher's like, you should have asked that during class. Your classmates probably had the same question. At this point, I don't really care if more people get it or not, as much as I want to make sure that I got it. And since I'm just me, y'all know more sometimes, and you definitely know more, Dr. Winters. But I like that we can disagree and agree, and not agree to disagree, because I don't think we've ever done that. But perspective.
Well, the thing is this. Family, this is an interesting evening. When we come on here, we talk about stuff that to me is real. It's a reality check, and it is a reality check because most of the time we spend all our time. Okay, if you're listening to Professor Black and Tariq, Tariq is always talking about delineation. And Professor Black is really being a philosopher. Mm-hmm. And so then those are all beautiful, but then sometimes we also need this. We also need to talk about those things that come to our mind when we're by ourselves. Right. Those things that come to our mind when we feel we're human beings, because see, that is the hardest thing in family, is to feel that you're a human being instead of a Black man or a Black woman. Oh, yeah. We as human beings. But see, I think that for those of you who join us every Wednesday, I think it does allow you to feel a little humanness, to feel that we're humans too. We have feelings too.
Agreed.
And I think that's what makes this a good meeting. Did you want to close the show?
Just join us on Wednesdays at 9:00 Eastern, 8:00 Central for your next reality check. But I'm glad y'all joined us tonight. So if you got some Yoshi to take us out, or not, but Yoshi's always good.
Yeah, I heard that, but we got to, if you're not going to speak up, support the ones who do.
If you're not going to speak up, support the ones who do. If you're not going to speak up, support the ones who do. If you're not going to speak up, support the ones who do. If you're not going to speak up, support the ones who do. Vampires, they prey on your fears, tell them to stay away. Vampires, they prey on your fears, control your atmosphere. Don't let them take your energy. Don't let them suck control your atmosphere. Distraction away from me. I am you and control your atmosphere. Don't let them take your energy. Don't let them suck your energy. It's a distraction away from me. I am you and you are me. If you're not going to speak up, support the ones who do. If you're not going to speak up, support the ones who do. If you're not going to speak up, support the ones who do. If you're not going to speak up, support the ones who do. Don't follow nobody but yourself. Don't follow, I said nobody but yourself. Don't follow nobody but yourself. Don't follow yourself. Nobody, yourself. Nobody but yourself.
The only thing that can save you is be one, be one, be one.